Now I gotta ride or die.
Make sure you like and subscribe because I've made a pact with myself that I'm never doing another old car on the channel again because they're a nightmare. I really want to do a new Porsche or something like that. So the more you watch, the more you like, the more you subscribe, the more money YouTube gives me, the more likely I am to be able to buy a Porsche. All right, guys, what is happening? Welcome back to the channel. It has been a hot minute since I've uploaded anything here for you guys to view, and that's for very good reason. A lot of you guys know that I do run an online fitness coaching business. One of my coaches recently has gone viral, which is super exciting, but it meant that I was really busy building out heaps of like automations and like just lead capture stuff for her, so we didn't lose any leads basically, but heaps of boring stuff that you guys don't need to know about or even probably don't care about. So let's get stuck in with today's video. And what I'm gonna do today is give you a little bit of a walk around of the car of what has happened since the last video, because I've been very, very busy. You can hear the birds going crazy outside. It's like plover season. If any of you guys have been to Australia, plovers are kind of like magpies, but worse. And when they have babies, they're very protective and noisy and they swoop, but unlike a magpie where it doesn't hit you, the plover will hit you. So yeah, that's fun. But let's have a little walk around of the car. I'll show you everything I've done noisy today and everything that I'm gonna be doing in today's video. All right, so first things first is I've got this side in, suspension, drive shaft, brake caliper, inner arch lining, all of that sort of stuff. I'm missing a couple of these clips here. If you guys can see that, I'm missing a couple of these clips. So if anyone knows where to get those or if they fit off any other car, let me know. So I'm missing a couple of those. I have put in the braided line. This is a caliper from a Ford Fiesta ST150. or a XR4 Fiesta as it was called in Australia. So I've got the braided line coming up into there and that's all connected up properly. There we go. I just need to make the hard lines now into the engine bay. Cleaned up the hub assembly, but I haven't painted it, but I have treated it. I couldn't be bothered to paint it really, if I'm honest with you, because I will one day be getting new ones. Brand new tie rod end, all new bushings everywhere, new bolts courtesy of Scott Kyle. Thank you very much. Where is it? Can we see it? There it is, brand new bolt there. Do need new drive shafts, but this is really just to get the car on the road. And moving. Expansion tank in came from Matt Grafton in the UK. And you can see it, he has taken the sticker off. 88 Gus was his buddy, who unfortunately passed away. This is the expansion tank off the 88 Gus car, which I personally think is really, really cool. Still haven't yet taken this off and repaired this, but I have put this here because I like it, and I figure it's going to protect some heat because I am having the crossover pipe here. Turbo is going to sit here, and I did move it from behind the radiator for a very good reason. You'll notice that the bumper is on, the spotlights are in, but there is no fan like there is from the factory, because what I found in Australia is when I was hitting boost, especially on those hot summer days with the turbo stuck all the way behind the radiator in there. Let me just play around with this camera so I can get it in. There we go, yeah. So with the turbo stuck behind the radiator like that, when I was hitting boost on a hot summer day, 38 to 42 degrees, I would heat up. It would heat up the radiator, of course, and it just would not cool down. So remove the turbo from behind there. I'm going to sit it here. It's going to have a turbo beanie on it. It's going to enable me to fit a bigger turbo, because we are going to go a forged build later. Maybe ZVH forged build, maybe CVH forged build. I don't know. But that's also going to enable more airflow to the front of the car. So after I've been on boost on a mountain run, there's nothing blocking the radiator like there was when there was a big fan here. You know, basically stopping the airflow from going all the way through the radiator. So there won't be any hot spots. Hopefully that's gonna help. And one of the guys in the forum suggested that I section all this off to basically feed the air into the radiator, which I think is a really, really good idea. You guys have seen the brake master cylinders, you know, the reservoirs and my master cylinders over there. I am gonna have to bleed those before I fit the hard lines, and I will show you how to do that as well. So I basically got this side to do. And also what is really cool, I'm keeping the rear drums, that's obviously not cool, but what is really cool is these rear brake cylinders. As you guys know, it's really hard to find parts for anything Mark IV Escort in Australia. So online autoparts.com.au to the rescue. Super handy because, oh, there we go. Look at that. What did I do with the other one? Oh, I feel like it's probably in here. Nope, there's not one there. Let me just take the one out of the other side and I'll show you guys what I'm really excited about. All right, so that's coming out. So you see I've got the new handbrake cable. I just need to route it properly, or route it properly, as they would say in Australia, because route in Australia means shag, you guys in the UK. So I've got the new cable here. I don't have new brake shoes. These ones, as you can see, they've got heaps of meat on them anyway. I'm not going to fit all of this today because I need to get some more grease and re-grease all of that. But we are here to look at this. Now this is the rear wheel cylinder, and you can see it's a bit of a mess. Yeah. All right, and this is the new one, and I say that like new because it is new, but it's for the wrong car. So this one here is for a Ford Focus Z-Tech 1.8 Mark 1. So it's the original shape Ford Focus 1.8 Z-Tech, so I guess like the base model, LX model or whatever. And they are identical size, a little bit of a different shape, but I mean, that's the identical size. Everything fits. I have had one kind of trial fitted in this side. So I'm really excited about that because finding stuff here in Australia that fits this car is really difficult. And it honestly just makes life so much easier. I'm not sure if I'm gonna have any trouble with that rear wheel cylinder. The Focus obviously had ABS. It was a more high-tech ABS system than was in the Escort. And when you do buy rear wheel cylinders for a Escort, a Mark IV Escort, you know, you do buy ones for ABS cars and for non-ABS cars. But as you guys can see from looking in the engine bay, there is no ABS on this car. However, there used to be. So I do have rear wheel cylinders and brake lines and all that kind of stuff for our ABS car. Even though it's not an ABS car, I don't really think it's gonna matter because it was not a sophisticated ABS system. It was literally just a belt on the drive shaft, and it kind of sensed, I guess, if the drive shaft was not rotating when it should be. Yeah, I really don't think it's gonna make a difference, but there's only one way to find out. So today, what I'm gonna do is fit those rear wheel cylinders, and I'm gonna make the hard line to go from the rear wheel cylinder to the braided line, because the braided line on the rear sits in here and it comes back into behind the shock absorber here. You can see that little red bit down there. So there is a hard line that comes from behind the rear wheel cylinder around into the back there. And I honestly don't know how to secure this in, because it does just kind of like go through, because the hole here is way too big. So I don't know, leave a comment below if you guys know how to do that. I'm sure thousands and thousands of people have done it before me. So I'm gonna get stuck on with that. Not gonna video doing that. I will video making up a hard line though, so you guys see me doing that. If you're not sure how to do it, you'll get an idea. But I'm not gonna video fitting it all. Next scene should be me making a hard line, and then everything's fitted, walk around for you guys to have a look. So basically what we want to do is measure the line. So this is nickel copper. I keep doing that. Copper nickel line. There we go, copper nickel line. You're gonna measure how long of a piece you actually need, and use the cutting tool supplied with your kit to cut. So we tighten it up, rotate till it's loose a bit, tighten it up a little bit more, keep going. You don't want to just snap it off or cut it with a pair of pliers, because if you cut it with like a pair of snips or something like that, you're gonna get like a really uneven end, and you can see that's nice. I don't know if you can, if it's focusing or not, but that's a really nice end. So from there, this is the other side, just a test fit that I've done. So it's basically going to be the opposite. So let's have a look. You want to be careful that when you're bending it, that you're bending it around instead of pulling on it, because the last thing you want to do is crease the line. So now that we've pretty much got what we need some end fittings. So I've got this one, I think. Yep, I'll double check. This one for inside here. Yep, that one. And then this one, I'll double check the end of the brake line. Double check the end of the brake line. I have no idea if you guys can see this or not. Yep, that's perfect. So this longer piece here is this one that goes into the back of the cylinder, rear wheel cylinder. So I'm going to piece that on there. I'm going to do that one in a sec, because like you don't want to flare your brake line and then not have your end on, because then you just got to start all over again basically. So you get your flaring bar. Place this in the vise because everything needs to be really square as you do it. I've got a light here, so if I shine that light there for you, that might be easier for you guys to see as well. So what I'm doing is I'm just using this is my 3/16 attachment, and I'm just placing it there, so I'm having the line sticking out as far as the size of that. And then clamping that down. All right, so now I have that there. My piece is in. This is a double line flare, so I'm going to use this bit first, push it down, give it a little bit of lube. I'm just using chain lube. You can use any kind of lube. Most people use brake fluid. Got my pressing tool. Now, the key for this is to make sure before you put any tension on it that everything's really square. And as you go down, you want to make sure that it's staying nice and square. Because you don't want it to go down on the piss, because then your flare won't work. So we've gone down all the way. I've done this before on YouTube until my flaring tool, my little black attachment meets the flaring bar. Take that off. Now, I just personally like to jiggle this free, easy, and now we're left with a bubble in the end, and that's the start of the double flare. So all we need to do now is push that in to finish the double flare, and you're just checking that it's pretty even. It's pretty even. It's not bad. It's not the best one I've done, but it's definitely good. And then we put this in the hole, work it up. And gently push it home. Nice and slowly, making sure that everything is going in straight. There we go. And don't over tighten it, just go as tight as you need to until it kind of stops moving freely. Take it off, and that looks like not a bad flare. I'll show you. That isn't too bad. That's actually a really nice. Turns out that's one of the better ones I've done. So cool. And then obviously it sits in nicely in the end, and then that screws up. All right. So it's a little hard for me to get in here with the camera whilst I was doing it, because I've got a fat head and they're not very big wheel arches. So now we have the rear wheel cylinder is in, and the hard line from the back of the rear wheel cylinder down to the brake line, the braided line there, and then that braided line comes up into here, and then obviously another hard line goes under the car there. And then did the same on the other side. So the rear wheel cylinder is in, the hard line is connected to the braided line at the back of the shock absorber, and then that's just sitting there. So the last thing to do, and I'll do this when I bleed the brakes and everything like that, is fit this. Is obviously for my bleeder. This is in the other side, so each rear wheel cylinder has still one of these in it to stop getting shit in. And this is obviously my bleeder valve. So yeah, happy days. Guys, that's pretty much it from me today. I don't really have a lot else I can do until the other bits arrive. So I'm currently waiting on Cosy injectors. So I ordered some Cosy injectors, the Bosch green ones, just the standard Cosy ones for my fuel rail that's not in there at the moment. What else did I order? Some spacers for my caliper, because and I'll do a whole video on this, showing you how to do it. I do need to repaint this because this was a bitch to get on this clip, as you can see, but now I've kind of figured out how to do it. All the other cars I've had were a dual piston style caliper, not like the floating piston here. It was like dual pistons on each side, like the Supra and stuff like that. So very different caliper. I was learning how to do this, but yeah. So basically the disc on the Fiesta ST150, it's not as deep from here to here. So the disc itself sits out a little bit further. So we need to space the caliper out a little bit as well, just to make it sit nice and even. So I've ordered spacers for that, and I've ordered the new discs because they're 260mm RS turbo discs, and the ST150 has 278mm discs, so twice the size brake pad. Makes sense to put the bigger disc on, otherwise there's no point in even having a bigger brake pad. So I ordered the brake discs as well as the Cosy injectors, more paint because I ran out of paint. What else did I order? Oh yeah, Y pieces or T pieces for my brake lines, because I have obviously the 2 master cylinders, and I'm going to run a single line to like the middle over here and then split it for the front wheels, and then a single line all the way back to the rear of the car and then split it just in front of the, or just behind or just in front of the fuel tank, so I can have each rear wheel obviously having its own kind of individual line. Well, that's the only way really to do it, isn't it? So yeah, probably behind the fuel tank is going to be the easiest way to do it. I'll probably come around and I don't know, I'll figure it out. But like I said, guys, that's it from me today. Thank you so much for watching. If you're still here at the end, bit of a long-winded video. Thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate you guys. Make sure you like and subscribe, because I've made a pact with myself that I'm never doing another old car on the channel again, because they're a nightmare. I really want to do a new Porsche or something like that. So the more you watch, the more you like, the more you subscribe, the more money YouTube gives me, the more likely I am to be able to buy a Porsche. Cheers, guys.